Hello everyone, and welcome to the RWBY Volume 7 Ozcars. I'm Raijin Rising, and if you don't know what the hell is going on, this is an idea that Klaxon, a RWBY tuber who also does other things, as well as Arnold, otherwise known as Murder of Birds, had. Mostly Kaylin's idea, Klaxon's idea, but then technical difficulties happen, and, well, Arnold gets involved. Kind of saved the day, because computer troubles are a nightmare, and I totally understand why Klaxon did this with Arnold, because if not, it probably still wouldn't be out. Let's put it that way, at the time of recording, which is a couple days after it actually happened, it probably still wouldn't be out. But we are here to celebrate RWBY Volume 7, all of the wondrous memes and characters and events, episodes, Aesops, songs, you name it. If it's going to sound like an Oscars Academy Award category, it's probably a category in this. Before I get started, I don't remember what my picks were. I'm sorry. I got worried that if I tried to go find out what the categories were, I'd accidentally find who the winners are. Because, again, this is after it's happened. So, here are the categories. Here are my picks after the fact. I'm going to put them on screen. And yes, I know that this is a black clip-on tie event. I'm not wearing a clip-on tie, but I do have a clip on my tie, so hopefully that suffices. So without further ado, let us start the Ozcars in 3, 2, 1, now. And I'm probably going to condense this down a lot, because as much as I'd love to watch an hour and a half video, making and uploading one's a nightmare, so if there's something that I don't, if there's too much dead air, I'm going to cut it.
You guys are going to be just as excited as we are, so we hope you
Dumb
guys
nut
enjoy.
trap.
The first category is Dress to Impress. RWBY consistently ups the ante when it comes to outfit
Right.
and design changes.
Alright, who is the best outfit then?
From Weiss.
Alright.
James Ironwood.
Until now, I believed it was impossible.
Iron Daddy.
Truly
Formerly, he's more Iron Daddy than he's ever been.
pushed her
If we're talking
unless we
the daddiest, it's Volume 7.
Polendina.
Ruby Rose.
Spiky hair, but yeah. Everyone was so worried that, her hair would be too spiky. And it looks great.
Salem.
That's true. God, alright. The captions are the best part. If there was one moment that made Weiss a waifu, it is Volume 4, Chapter 9. Penny, alright, yeah. If I was going to say one, I was probably going to go with Blake, but she didn't even make this cut, so... Yeah. Yeah, that was the cutoff. So Blake didn't even make the top. Alright. The top half of things.
Hero.
Yeah. Not Santee C, this is indeed Caleb Hiles. And I did see his, Red Like Roses Part 2 and his, This Life Is Mine covers. Both great. And it also is the reason that Casey has sung both parts of Red Like Roses Part 2. I don't think people have heard both of those together.
Trust Love.
Yeah. If I'm being honest, the other songs in this volume have overshadowed Trust Love for me. I know that, we've seen, this is basically half the song, and we've heard even less of other songs, but I'm still more excited for those other songs than I am for this. Yeah, if only he did, right? He's more interested in loyalty than he is in trust, though. He's not willing to trust anybody but himself.
Until the end.
The tears that you've shed may find a treat of water, but only when you're stronger. That is probably my favorite lyric of this volume so far. But overall, I think there are bigger, more impactful songs than this one.
War.
Yeah. Make love, not war. God. Oh god, I know people who have that on the back of their Jeep. I do. Yeah, and this is where the happy huntresses, or the Ace, The four vocalists that are in this song, and I don't think we even heard all four of them. I might have to go back and make sure, but there's so many vocalists in this song. That is what makes it so great.
Oscar goes.
Before he actually says it, I'm going to say it this time. Personally, for me, it's tossed up between Hero and War, and I'm going to have to go with War.
2. I'm so upset if this isn't it. Of course, Hero, my boy.
All right.
Miles. I'm so
excited. I'll give it to him. That was a great song.
These are the nominees for Best Fight.
Cinder versus Penny in Winter.
If I kiss yeah. I still remember that RTAA. I still do. But what's the word for that?
Clover versus Tyrion versus Crow.
The enemy of my enemy is my enemy. This was... Looking back, I like this fight more and more as I watch it again and again. Like, I can appreciate, like, the mental states that they were all in at this point in time. But it still was a serial killer, and there was probably a better way to do this than this. But I still will watch it and like it more every time I watch it. Cardinal versus Pyrrha Act 2. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? She did kind of body them. Ultimately, it was cool, but I don't know. It wasn't. It's not Chapter 11. It's not the gravity fight.
Team RWBY versus the Aesops.
Yeah. And this is another one of those examples where I was watching the Game Time with Monty of Bernie Burns talking with Monty, and he was saying, like, well, when you have so many fighters in a fight, really you're just kind of going for instant kills, you know? It's not going to be too many hits or too many punches until it's over. And
Watts
that's...
versus Ironwood.
Yeah. This is... It's the best. There is a competition because I would definitely put the RWBY versus Aesop fight second, but to this.
And the Ozcars goes to... I swear to
Gravity.
God. I'm like on the edge of my seat. Wow! Wow! Really?
Is it?
Oh my
Oh god,
goodness,
is it?
Team RWBY versus the Aesops.
Okay. If it was gonna not be that one, it's good that at least it's this. And the song definitely makes this so much better. Like, the music in this is what... I mean, it adds to the already great animation that we can see here. So I'm not too mad, but, like, the amount that you can, like, read into what's going on in the other one, in Watson Ironwood, is, I think, what puts it over this one for me. But also, I'm not too mad, ultimately. I'm not too mad.
I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting this fight. I honestly thought it was going to be Watts versus Ironwood.
Yeah,
that was my...
same, man.
That was grim ranking from the Wyvern and Sphinx to the likes of the Knucklevi and Apathy. This proves that the RWBY is trying to terrorize the audience as much as they are the characters.
Yeah.
These are the nominees for Best Group.
Not wrong.
The Sentinel.
Yeah. Which was cool. But ultimately... Yeah, we really do be fought it though. And that's... Look. When Clover said that Robin was worse than the Grimm, it's because Robin's not going to be fodder. Because we can predict most Grimm.
Disgusting.
You cannot predict what the hell a human's
The
going to do.
Megaliath.
Volume 2 with like its Grimm back. Oh god. I just rewatched that. Dude, I just rewatched the Mountain Glen arc. Still holds up. Holy crap. Dr. Ublik would be like, I thought you told me not to.
Grimm.
But I guess now they are prepared to get needed. Okay. Now they are prepared to fight the Megalites. They wouldn't have been back then, but holy crap, they've grown so much. Yeah. This is cool. Ultimately, not my favorite.
The Saber.
This was really a great, like, first episode fight.
The
to me.
Teryx.
Yeah, this one, like, you don't spend too much time looking at it, but it's really darn cool. It's like Kevin's younger brother, I think I called it in one of my reaction videos.
And drum roll, please. And the
Okay, that's an unfortunate frame to pause on, but I'm gonna have to go with the saber for this one.
Oscar goes to... Are you kidding? It was in the last frame of the episode. Monstro the Whale Grim.
Yeah, it's cool. Don't get me wrong, but we didn't see it. Like, we didn't see it, so I can't say that it was my favorite.
I'm not surprised, but I'm kind of surprised, right? Like, I don't think we've ever seen a Grim like the Whale Grim, and I'm wondering, like, how effective it's going to
like,
be. If it's not just, I hope. It's
how
not
much
just
of a
like
chimera
someone's
is
personal,
Salem gonna
like,
make for the finale?
but,
you know, like.
Yeah, like,
Oh, it's the
I
Grim
was a big fan of
Dragon's
a lot of it.
wings, and it was like the Seer's head, and it.
People were sort of like, holy shit! Like,
Yeah,
I
like,
feel
what?
like that.
Yeah.
Like, what the?
Yeah, but
fuck?
we didn't
Like,
see
I
it though.
that's
Again,
why
like we didn't see
It's kind of
it.
weird
Yeah.
I can't call it my favorite if I don't see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Where is it?
This one is sort of similar.
I
Like,
think-
Behind all that fog. We haven't. Does it have a tail? We don't know.
I feel like that's why.
Yeah,
Probably
I
does
think,
if it's gonna be a whale, but we don't
Volume
know.
Definitely. These are the nominees for Best Semblance.
Aura breaking.
Come on, we've got to get you out of here.
Yeah, it's like a force. It is. Yeah, it's like a poison but directed at Aura, which is pretty damn cool.
Good fortune.
Yeah, and it only ever affects him. It doesn't affect the world around him. Like, I mean, if it does, it's for his benefit. Like, his good fortune doesn't really save anybody else. And that's the biggest thing between him and Crow. Like, they are opposites, but they're not.
I'm gone.
Is Crow's a burden to everyone around him, and Clover's really only good for himself.
Building out in the tundra.
This was
A new
great, though.
communications tower.
And how the RWBY...
He's trying to help.
I don't have it with me. It's
Everyone.
around here somewhere. The official companion book definitely
You're telling the truth.
foreshadowed this, which is cool. Yeah. A bag of holding. She's literally carrying the team. If I had to be honest, though, I like Mace more. Stay. This is great. He'll play that. Yeah. You know, for how much RWBY at the opening seasons was like, we're... For how much RWBY at the beginning was like, the only difference between humans and Faunus is the one trait that we have. It does kind of go against that with the tuna joke, but then it's like, hi, I play fetch with my weapon. My name is a reference to a bone, and I tell people to stay. It's like, the amount of tongue-in-cheek jokes with Marrow is just like completely throwing that whole we're like humans except one thing out the window. But I am here for it.
Because
Okay, hold on. I didn't actually say what I was thinking. Okay, since Maze isn't on this list, I'm gonna go with Palm Pocket or Stay. I'm sure it's gonna be Stay, but yeah, Stay. I think Stay won. I prefer to the other one, but I think Stay won.
My boy, hold on, I'm having trouble taking this out. Stay.
Stay.
Oh,
Okay,
come on.
good.
Stay.
My Oscar pool is on the up and up. Palm Pocket was second. Okay. Wait, no.
That was
Lie
like the
Detector
best
was
sentence
second
that- out
by
of the Aesop's, my
21%.
favorite. Very happy
Over
that this one
Palm
turned out.
Pocket.
What did you think about it?
I think that Lie Detector is an interesting semblance, but they didn't necessarily go all in. Like, I think that next volume with having to prove Crow's sort of innocence will
Yeah.
get a lot of interesting scenes with Lie Detector, but they really
Yeah.
set up...
And we're definitely gonna see the Happy
very
Hunters a lot
semblance in
more
this case
now that,
to
like,
sort of
Robin
have these sort of effects, like,
knows
going
that she
forward. So that
can
makes sense
align
for
with
the entire
Crow
volume.
and the
Yeah,
Because
he
I
heroes.
used
think
it-
with other people's semblances,
I hope we get a
they're
lot
sort of
more,
setting
'cause,
them
I
up
mean,
for next volume.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, Marrow's
Joanna
like,
had
we're gonna
one
set
line,
this
you
up
know?
For the rally, we're gonna set this up.
But
for
the
the
May had a
rally.
couple-
Exactly,
Yeah,
so.
so he used it against Grim. He used it against
Sheep Gal had a lot
you know,
more than that.
The crowd and
Fiona,
then he used it
I
against
can't
Team
remember her
RWBY,
name.
So it was kind of like sprinkled throughout the entire volume,
Yeah.
which was really great. So my boy Marrow came in clutch.
It definitely had a lot of
It's
good
large
uses,
part of
so
every
I can
fan
see why it
community,
won.
And RWBY is no exception. RWBY
Shipping?
Volume 7
Okay.
gave us many moments that
Best
led to
ships.
ships being
I'm gonna say nuts and
invented,
dolts, but I know this is gonna
cracked, or
lose.
straight up extinguished.
That was a joke. I'm not
These are
actually
the
putting my money
nominees
on nuts
for
and dolts.
Best shipping scene.
Blake and Yang.
I'm not sure there
Yeah.
are many good options left for
Let me
any
love
of
you,
us
damn it.
anymore. Keeping
Yeah, what's the?
secrets,
How do you spell it?
taking lives,
Is it the
it
bike?
makes
Is it
you
the
wonder
ship? Is
how
it the
far we're
song?
going to
What?
have to go to keep doing the right thing, Blake.
Honestly, like
We
this
did
volume had characters in it,
what we had to do.
and this is one of the best scenes for showing
Yeah.
that. Like characters were actually making
You
decisions and
shouldn't do
changing the
that,
plot
you know?
episode by
Don't worry,
episode, where it's
I
like,
gave
well,
it
we gotta
a-
go
a
here, we
meant
gotta do this.
deflect a compliment.
Volume 7's great
Those
because
kids wouldn't
of
be where
that.
they are without you.
Because
It's had more of an effect on
characters
them
are
than
actually
you realize.
affecting the plot often.
Penny and Ruby.
Ren and Nora.
This is so exciting!
Oscar?
To be young and
I
awkward.
didn't mean to interrupt you. I just
Jinx, you owe me a relationship.
We should tell Ironwood.
Kids. Okay. I mean, the two biggest ones are gonna be Renora and Bumblebee, just by virtue of like the fandom. Those are the two most popular ones, especially now. Nuts and Dolts made a resurgence. It's probably gonna be third, but I'm gonna go with Renora for
And
this
the
one
Oscar
because
goes to... I'm calling
it
this.
happened.
I'm taking credit
Yeah.
for Ren
Taking
and Nora.
credit.
It only
You
took me
better,
7
man.
Volumes. I made that Ren and Nora, and then I'll say.
Okay, so
opposed to
Clover
that,
Crow was
This
second,
is 7 years in the making.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Ruby
Like,
Oscar
Crow
was
and Clover
third.
really kind of established.
and Blinking
like,
was
their-
fourth. Okay.
I guess their
I guess it was
relationship,
because people were actually
this
focused on
volume, where,
this
you know what I
volume
mean? Like,
versus
I feel
overall.
like at the end of the day, chapter
Okay,
1,
so this is best
we hated
Aesop.
them on sight, thought they were working with the enemy, loved them and apologized, only to then hate them all over again when we realized our instincts were right the first time.
Nevertheless, each
Yeah.
member brought something
Atlas was
charming,
always
fun,
working
and
against the
relatable to
heroes,
table,
whether
and it's
it
only
was
fair that we announce who among them is
things
best
like
boy
that
or
versus
girl.
it was always
These are
like
the
they cannot
nominees
do
for
things
best
their way in
episode.
Atlas.
Clover,
Oh,
Emmy,
volume 6 is all our way. And I said in my initial reaction
I feel so bad, honestly.
that
If we had known who you were, we'd be laughing over a hot meal right now.
I said that Harriet was going to be the fan favorite.
Following orders.
And I think I might have said that Clover was, or not Clover. I think I said that Marrow was going to be
Harriet
second.
Bree.
Four.
So we'll see. I'm gonna put my money toward Marrow because
I think
being
there's more
honest,
going on than you think.
Marrow
he
and
was the
Some of
comedic
us are
relief
all
that
asset, zero liability.
I mean he was the comic relief that
Yeah?
we
Think I
needed
got some
in this
liabilities
volume
out?
where we could get
Your
it,
brain's
and it was
for
good to
life.
see that out of an adult. So I'm putting it toward Marrow. He's a good boy.
Find Zeki.
In trying to save everyone,
That's my verdict.
we left ourselves most vulnerable.
He was cool, and I saw it.
You can't
They-
focus on one.
The
single
artist
fight
who did his
to try to
concept
win a
art
war.
posted alternate hairstyles and
And the
alternate things
Oscar for
online.
best boy or
Would've
best
been
girl
cool to
in the
see him with
Aesop's
hair.
goes to.
But like any of them would have been
You
great.
know it. You love to see it. Marrow and
Thank you.
Dog Boy. I feel really bad for Vine. I feel like Vine
Yeah.
got so
Yeah.
shafted this volume. Like he's got a semblance. Like out of everyone, his semblance is kind of eh. He's got a weapon on his back that we never
He
got to
and-
see, and it's
That's the
just
thing, like
very unfortunate.
You know what I think the key
he and
to
Elm,
victory
to
would've
me,
been for
it
Vine
just
is
seemed
that
like they
there
were
was
good at
parts
using
of
Aura
her-
versus
of
those
his
being
hair.
their
Like,
semblance.
he
Yeah, I
wore,
was
like,
saying
a
this.
Sexy, like Targaryen outfit. Like he had the long
Yeah.
white hair. Like
Yeah,
he
I
looked
saw
like a
that.
Game of Thrones character.
I probably,
don't
it would have
know.
been cool to
That
see
made-
like the
that
top
made
middle or the
Jones
bottom
tables, but
right
I'm
to
not
me.
surprised that Marrow won.
That
I think
green
it's an
is
overall
I think it's
fan
really
favorite.
cool, but I don't know if
He's
that
a
would have been
dog.
good for him.
And they had the concept
He's
of
a dog.
like the dog eater.
Okay, I got spoiled that Gravity didn't win this, so I'm gonna go with episode 6 or 12. I'm not sure which.
Of your efforts. These are the nominees for best episode.
I would have said Gravity,
Chapter 3, Aesop.
but this was
What would you guys do without them?
again. It's the caption. This was a fantastic episode. It just never stopped, and it's easily gonna be up there. It's even if we're not thinking about it because it's one of the early ones. It was phenomenal.
Chapter 6, A Night Off.
Yeah.
You ready, Tyrion?
And if this one wins,
Go.
we're gonna see that most people didn't really care about where the hell was Marrow. Does he be seeing in the dark? I do words good. And People not caring that Penny doesn't have flashlights for eyes, because whatever. Ultimately, this is...
Chapter 11.
It should have ended better than it did.
We're nowhere near
but-
finished evacuating everyone.
Yeah.
You'd be leaving
It should have ended better than it did, and that's probably why
Yes,
I
I
can't
would.
put it at the top, because it should have ended on that shot of Penny that volumes chapter
We
7
can't
chapter
allow
7
Salem
opened
to
with.
capture the relics.
Then it probably would have been
This
my favorite.
is our best chance at getting the staff, the lamp.
Because
and
then we're
the
not
moon
thinking,
as
oh my god,
far
it's the
away
fall of
from here as
Beacon in
possible.
episode 7.
Chapter 12, with friends like these.
Fantastic. The second half of this chapter,
Why they
just
felt the need to do
going-
the things they did.
Osmond's monologue just... It put everything in perspective in the best way. And they may have taken hours and hours and hours to write that, but it was so worth it.
From the start.
Because the crew had said, we've been stuck on one line in the finale for over an hour.
We all find out sooner or later.
And the Oscars goes to...
God, it's a toss-up between 3, 6, and 12, or 3, 6, and 13 for me. Oh god, I'm only a third of the way through this. I'm gonna have to go with chapter 13.
2.
It's either 3 or 13, no. 3, 6,
Hell
or 13.
yeah! Hell yes! Gravity!
Where in the name of shit that I... Alright, Arnold, you said this tweet aged well, but it sounded sarcastic, so I thought it didn't win. Wow, okay.
Until Atlas and the relics are safe, you were all
I got
on the
bamboozled.
list.
But yeah, if we had to put it on one episode, I would have said Gravity. This was the gotcha moment. And it's exactly why it is.
This was such...
Get Christina V on Volume 8, goddammit.
These are the nominees.
Happy
for
Huntress
Best
song. I'm
Additional
saying it.
Vocalist.
Okay, so is this... So does this not include Jeff and Casey then?
Riley.
Or I guess...
Don M. Bennett.
So...
Caleb Hiles.
So it's gonna be... If I had to say one, I'd say Caleb for this.
Santee C.
Yeah. Cool, but I'm giving it to Caleb. And it was fun to see, like, actual diegetic music in it. As in, like, music that's actually in the show, in the world of the show, versus, like...
And the Oscar goes to
Caleb Hiles, please.
my boy, Caleb Hiles
Yeah.
with Hero.
To be fair, he got one of the best songs, though, and he got the entire song. But he made it his own in a great way, definitely.
But there are so many songs that once you hear the full version, it kind of changes the song
I was thinking
overall.
about that too. Just
Yeah.
'cause they're, like Life Is Mine, for example.
There's a
like
lot.
we heard
Oh my
part
gosh.
of it, and then like
That song
the,
changes up on you, like, 4 different
everything,
times.
Like just comes in.
It does.
Right? And so
That,
I'm
it's
just
the
gonna
best
be so
song.
excited
This
to
Life
see
Is
how
Mine,
all of
best
the
song
songs
ever
turn out,
on
like,
the RWBY
finished
soundtracks,
product.
to be honest with you.
I just love
It-
his, like, his
It's
balance.
like she
Yeah.
finally gets an
Yeah.
eye burn.
Another
Like we
cool
can
thing, too, is
see. I'm gonna pause this just to talk about This Life Is Mine for a second, because it is honestly, to me, it's the best song on any RWBY soundtrack. Because it goes from the slower operatic stuff that we, you know, from Mirror Mirror Part 2, or what we had come to know later is like Path of Isolation. It goes from that, because like if we look at that as like the stand-in for her character, because like that is symbolic of the character that she used to be, and then she's ramping it up and ramping it up to the point of just going full out rock with it. Well, that's where Yang had been, you know, her eye burn, her Armed and Ready, her Ignite. Yang had always been there, but now with Volume 4, Weiss gets to that point of having that kind of song, because now she is that kind of character, where she can say things in that way that would warrant a song like that. That's why, to me, because it is so perfectly symbolic of Weiss's growth as a character, you know, the growth of the song going from the slower stuff and then it turns out it's to 10, and then it goes right up to 15, not even to 11 from there. That's why it's the best. Anyway, moving forward, play.
That, like, you know, Adrienne, Santisi, and Caleb have all collaborated with Casey in the past. So I think it's cool that, like, you know, we have Alex, we have
Adrian's in the
Jeff,
freelance
Casey,
orchestra.
Lamar, but I
Jeff
really
Williams
think
freelance
each one of
orchestra.
these
I saw
vocalists
them
did a
at
phenomenal
RTX
job,
2018.
and the soundtrack is more varied. There's so many different, like,
You know,
pops
before
and
we ended up
vibes
even
throughout.
hearing her in
So
the
I'm a
Volume
big
6
fan, and
soundtrack
Hero won,
with
you know,
Nevermore.
best song as well. So I think, you know, shout out to Caleb.
And
for
I
that.
said back then,
Like,
she
yeah.
deserves to be on the soundtrack, and then she was, and now
Yeah,
here she is
absolutely.
again.
Shout out to you, Caleb.
These are the nominees for Best Actress in a Supporting Role.
Actress, okay,
Aniris
so speaking of
Quinones.
female
We
characters.
get along well enough, sure.
Caitlin Glass.
Something
As far as who I think had the best
We all
voice,
simply assumed that at
or
this point.
best portrayal, I'd have
Jen
to go with
Taylor.
her.
Time isn't on your side, James. It's always
Definitely
been
not.
on mine.
As a reference to the
People
caption.
of Atlas have suffered
Just being able to
enough.
portray
Surrender the staff and the
her
lamp to
portrayal
me,
gave the mood
and
for
they
that
needn't
scene between
suffer
Weiss
any
and
further.
Willow. It
Simply
gave it
accept the
that Aaron
futility
needed.
of your situation. And this can all
I think,
be over.
to me, the best part about Salem's voice is the
You can
echo
see
effect, not
Christian.
necessarily a portrayal in that, but it was still great.
It's Penny,
And
ma'am. Penny.
Are
Blue
you
Fairy from Pinocchio. I didn't know that. I'll have to go look at that later.
Melissa Sternberg. And the Oscar goes to
Caitlin Glass
my
for me,
girl
but I know it's probably not the
Cortana
one.
Jen Taylor.
Yeah,
AKA
right. People are gonna,
Actress
like-
Salem, not Cortana. This is Ruby. Oh man.
Yeah.
Your mother said those words to me.
I mean, I knew people would pick Salem, but for me, it's gonna be
My
Caitlin Glass.
mother?
I knew people. I mean, because
She was wrong too.
Salem keeps being
She's
portrayed.
always- she is so
Partly
great.
because
Like,
of the
she
voice, but
is
partly
is a master of her craft.
the
She's been doing
cinematography
it
and all that other stuff.
for a while,
Always
you know
portray
what I mean? Like,
Salem
I remember
so
that
well.
one story that Miles and Carrie would tell where
But
they
if we had to nail it down to
initially,
just the voice, I would
they
say
initially
Caitlin
got
Glass.
I almost said Cortana. They initially
And
got
she
Jen
was
to do the
among the
narration for
lowest in
Volume
this,
1.
or she
and
was
they had her
third.
for like 2 hours.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
her mere
Like,
presence
she
is
just
the
has this
intimidation, and she
factor
knows how to work
just,
it
like, built into her voice,
through her
even at
voice,
an,
and
like,
that's definitely
neutral
comes
sort of
through.
tone.
What I'll say
Jen
in
Taylor.
closing, these are the nominees for Best Actor in a Supporting Role.
Chris Wetkamp.
Dave Fenoy.
Maria! Yes, with a cybernetic
I need
orbital
healing.
impact.
God, I play Overwatch.
Every 10 years or so.
I don't hear that.
Oh, wow.
The only time I ever hear I need healing when I'm playing Overwatch is when someone's being an asshole about it.
Get Penny out
Like,
the
they'll
back.
only say it after they die
I'm sorry.
when I'm
Is
playing.
she-
And I'm the healer in Overwatch.
Miles Luna.
Shannon
Where's
McCormick.
Bren, though?
That power. These memories. You're back, aren't you?
Good
You
caption there.
saved me. Actually, you saved us.
Yeah. I'm gonna give
Oscar,
most of the credit
Stop. All I want to know
to
is
me.
how we save Atlas
Ozpin's
next.
voice.
And the Oscar.
I pay a
goes
lot more attention to I paused it. I pay a lot more attention to the rest of what's going on with Crow or Ozpin's monologue rather than the portrayal of the voice. Like, it does so much for the entire show and the entire volume that I don't really focus on the voice acting for it. It was great. But if I'm thinking about those words, I'm not thinking about how they were said. I'm thinking about what they did. Again, I'm pretty sure people are going to go with Dog Boy for this one because he's a dog and that's awesome. And Marrow's great, but like, if I had to go with I'd probably say, I'm sure Marrow won.
to Chris Weckham as
All right.
Clover Ebby, my boy.
He did have a lot more lines, so I can see that. Yeah, and he did so, and Clover, or not Crow, not Clover, Crow, the voice actor that came in for this volume did a fantastic job for that too. Like honestly, like well this.
Yeah.
But then even as early as
really like Clover was
he's definitely conveying a lot more
supporting
emotion
role
through the
overall,
lower.
But I think it was really delivered for.
Or
Unfortunately,
a lot more
Clover's
emotion
one
through his
volume.
take. Oh, Whitley was in it. Whitley didn't make the cut for this.
Pietro. These are the nominees for Best Voice Actress in a Leading Role.
Christina V.
Personal feelings.
Okay, she.
Them. It ensures us that we're on the right path.
Again, and she. Oh god, this makes it tough though because Winter, honestly,
Jessica
Elizabeth
Negri.
Maxwell did a
Still
great
can't
job.
believe those idiots beat us here. Vacuo was supposed to be the next target.
What's that caption doing?
Changed. You said the farm boy has the lamp? Find him. Take it.
Taylor McNee.
I mean, I guess Arnold can do it. I'd personally have to give the best portrayal to Elizabeth Maxwell, though I doubt she won.
That is normal as it gets, Penny.
Lindsay Jones.
Then again, like maybe this could have been
Suddenly Oz
like
wasn't there
a dark
anymore.
horse victory for Lindsay, but I don't personally think so. Like she did a great job, but if I had to give it to anyone,
He
I think
told us the lamp
Elizabeth
answered
Maxwell
3
definitely
questions.
defined
But
Winter's
all
character
the questions
very
were
well
used
through
up
her
already.
voice.
And drum roll, please. The Oscar goes to Taylor McNee. Penny
Okay.
Palladina.
Yeah, I'm sure people love to get
Apparently.
Penny back, and that's part of why she won. But
Start what?
personally, for
I
me, it was
feel
Elizabeth
like-
Maxwell.
okay.
Hey guys, I'm Taylor from Simply Betta. I love Bettas.
Oh my god, she actually just talks like this. It isn't a performance as much as... To be fair though, like that's way closer to her actual voice than I thought.
Of course, these are the nominees for Best Voice Actor in a Leading Role.
Yeah.
Aaron Dismuke.
Oscar
I can tell you what I think.
was so well done this volume, and that's part the voice, but like
the answers, where you
being
do the thing you think is right,
that
no
much
matter
more
the
involved
cost.
in everything that's going
It's not
on.
going to take you anywhere good.
Christopher Sabat.
Fill them well.
That feeling?
I'd have to, personally, I'd have to give it to Jason here. And that's not because we share the same name, though that's part of it.
Like you. She was
What?
always the best.
Iron Daddy
Jason
probably
Rose.
got it. I can definitely see him winning it.
In hell. For such a little bird, you
Isn't it
have
Greeley?
quite the impact around here.
Pretty sure it's really, I don't know.
Hope it's a smart
That's the thing, like, I
girl.
have a degree in journalism, and when you're a journalist, you need to
I
know
find it
not only how to spell people's names, but how to pronounce them.
And on the
So
flip
I really
side,
just
the
key in
Oscar
on that
for
a
Best
lot more
Voice Actor in a
than most
Leading
people
Role
would.
goes to yes, Jason Rose.
Yeah.
Oh my God, James Ironwood, man.
Oh, excellent
I can see that.
philosophical points. That
I don't
road
deny
map
it. He
is
got,
saying
he
win.
had
Listen
so
to
many
me.
different
You
sides of
listen.
Ironwood to
I am
voice for.
done letting others' inability to see
So
the big
he
picture
really-
get in the way of doing what's right.
I mean, he had to nail
I
it, and
honestly
he
think I'm
did.
biased right now for this win because I honestly think Ironwood is
Yeah,
my
okay, Crow
favorite
was second,
character
okay.
in,
It was such a hard category, but I
Yeah,
feel
this
like
was, there was a
so
lot of
deserved. Like,
contention in
there
this
was just
category.
so
There
much
really was.
emotional range.
These are the nominees for Best New Character.
Clover at
I
think
think
that's
that's
shame.
true. He was great. I'm not gonna give it to him though,
Alpha here.
because there were so many great ones though.
Marrow Ammon.
It was probably quite the venture to find new clips every time a character is mentioned for them.
Pietro Polendina.
When the general first challenged
Yeah,
us to
this was a great scene for him,
next
but
breakthrough in
ultimately,
defense technology,
he's
most
not
of
gonna be
my
the standout.
colleagues pursued more,
I mean, even in this picture, Ryan Haywood
I was one
is a
of the
bigger
few
presence than he
who
is.
believed it.
Robin Hill.
Tower from
Ultimately, her character did a lot of great things for the volume, just
Willow
putting
Smith.
Ironwood in even rougher of a spot, so I can see that. And she had to be as good as she was for the little time that she had, and she definitely made a great impact.
Don't forget about your brother.
And
Whitley wants nothing to
I
do
mean, we
with
get
it.
so much nuance to her character just by the mention of Whitley, by being able to see where she is mentally,
And adding
where
on
she is
to
in
the
relation to
pile
what
of additional
Jacques is doing. Additional characters. I'm giving it to Robin.
characters, the Oscar goes to Robin Hill.
Yeah, there we go. All right, yeah. See, I said it. Okay, so second was Clover, third was Marrow.
Rest in
Okay.
peace. These are the nominees for Best Female Antagonist.
Cinderfall.
You Atlas elites are all the same.
Do we have so many of them that we needed a whole category? Okay. I think she's the one who people are... Because Miles had hinted or alluded to the fact at C2E2 in Chicago that someone's backstory had gotten cut for like volume after volume after volume. I think 3 volumes. And I think that was probably Cinder.
Salem.
HBIC, yep. You're really gonna put Cinder in the same category as Salem and expect Cinder to win? Because that ain't how it's gonna be.
And the Oscars go...
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's either... I mean, Neo or Salem, because people are gonna... People have their kinks, but... It's gonna be Salem for me.
To... Best Ice Cream Girl, Neapolitan.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I had to be the man of culture for this one, I guess.
These are the nominees for Best Male Antagonist.
James Ironwood.
Yeah, ultimately, yeah, this scene, just gonna slide this in there. Episode 7, see if it... Is it gonna matter? Maybe. This thing, I could not take this seriously. I mean, it would be like him to do that, but it really took away from the scene to have him have that hat on.
His mind. You need to keep their attention on
In terms of, like,
as long as possible.
I think Tyrion, or not Tyrion, Watts
If anyone on Rem
definitely
could deliver that, wouldn't it be you?
best line in the whole volume. I'm gonna give it to Watts. Iron would get the most screen time out of all of them, but if we're talking about being a villain and celebrating being a villain, Watts did it the best. He was the most cunning. He was the best villain in this volume.
Put respect on their name because the Oscar
For
goes
being
to
a villain.
Tyrion Kellos.
All right. No.
These are the nominees for Best Supporting Female Character.
Fiona Time.
She wins.
Like me, you're all thrilled that we chose Robin.
She
as
wins.
our
For all the characters that only get that
Freya.
scene or that chapter or one scene for screen time, again with Freya here, this volume really, it was very successful in still giving them that much character. Because they could have just said their piece and left, but it actually contributes to the weight of every scene in the way that they are portrayed and the way
Maria
that
Calavera.
I know.
they act.
I age like
Personally,
a fine
it's going to
wine.
be Fiona.
Would have been.
Nora Valkyrie.
They're bearing all of it. The longer this waiting game goes on, the
Yeah.
harder each.
For a lot of
game
people,
gets
this
for
was
people down there.
very odd to
You
see
wanna
Nora
see
like this,
more
but
soldiers? You can't force people to fall in
she's
line.
always
You'll
known
just be
what
trading all
power
these
looks
problems
like.
for the grin.
As somebody who has nothing, she knows where power is. She knows how
Willow
it looks.
Schnee. And the Oscar goes to Nora Valkyrie.
All right.
Supporting line for Ren.
Over
especially,
50. Okay.
Also for
That
Iron
might have been
Yeah,
because
yeah.
she was the only
You know,
quote-unquote
Nora
main.
sort
Is
of,
she
like,
not a main
pushing
character
before,
in this
working
lineup?
with Rob.
These are the nominees for Best Supporting Male Role.
Clover Ebby.
Jean Arc.
Marrow Ammon.
Professor Ozpin.
The single quality that is common across every living creature on this planet is fear.
For the time that Ozpin had,
Pietro
he did,
Polendina.
and he was great.
And bringing it home here, the Oscar goes
Going
to
Marrow.
Mr. Lucky himself,
Okay.
Clover Ebby.
I can see it, but
And,
Samara was
some of those
second.
Voice lines are in
Yeah,
supporting
and
Crow
John was third.
as a lead role. Does
Yeah.
that make sense? And so I feel like
Oz
that's
was
why these two are
fourth.
particularly very
Pietro was
connected.
fifth,
I
and
also
Whitley's
think as
an
a
honorable mention.
supporting-
These are the nominees for Best Leading Female Character.
Neapolitan.
No!
Lead character shows up in chapter 9? Alright. Chapter 8, I guess, if we're gonna be really specific about it. I don't think she should win,
Showed up and attacked
but
me.
we'll see.
But she looks like someone else.
If I'm right, Blake and Yang didn't even make it into this category,
I
right?
haven't exactly heard good things.
Even though they did the most impactful thing out of everybody. I mean, that's been on the ass, but they were right to have done it.
I thought you sounded fine.
Yeah.
Ruby Rose.
I'm trying to do what I think is best, but
Again,
I really can't tell
she
if
was
what's
a
best is
good
what's right.
main
I'm no
lead
different from
character
Oz.
this volume,
Ruby,
for sure. It definitely gave
Oz
her
only trusted
a lot of
himself
good
with the
agency
whole
here.
truth.
Weichny.
God! Arnold, did you write all the captions?
Jacques Schnee, you're under arrest.
What the hell, man? I mean, I know he says she's best girl, but god damn, this is another level. I mean, if we're gonna put her in the same category as Ruby,
And for the best lead female character,
I'm gonna go with
Oscar
Ruby.
goes to your girl Penny Polendina.
Yeah. Again, no, I can see that. She definitely got
saving Remnant.
the plethora of scenes that she has with Winter, as we can see this scene and the one that was shown of her before.
We don't
Do
have
a
time.
great
That
job of
doesn't bother you? What about your sister?
connecting their characters,
Our
showing how they're
friends?
similar, but they're
I do
two
not
sides of the
see
same
what is
coin.
Good about any of this.
Exactly.
Absolutely well
We're
deserved.
doing good.
Like I
It's
said,
not good.
Penny has been far more relevant this
Right.
volume than she has ever been in
So,
the show. Volumes 1, 2, and 3. She
just
has plot
in
relevance.
the way of being able to
Maiden.
carry
She
that
has,
weight, she definitely
immense
did a great
development
job.
and characterization. These are the nominees for best leading male character.
That's lead male.
Arthur Watts.
James Ironwood.
Oscar Pine.
Crow Bronwyn.
Tyrion Callows. Are you ready?
Oh,
Are you ready?
my
Did
heart
you,
is
did you
going
have
down,
to edit
like,
the heartbeat sound
There's
in?
gonna be riots in the street.
I got worried
There's gonna
about
be
myself
people,
for a
like,
second.
harassing us on social media. This is rigged.
We didn't do it. They did.
We have the evidence. We have the statistics.
damn
We have
heartbeat.
the numbers to support and back this up. Okay. The Oscar for best leading male character goes to, drum roll, please. Yeah! Oh, he won! James Ironwood! He deserves it. Like, he
does.
So deserved.
Best character. Like,
Honestly.
Ironwood put Volume 7 on his fucking back and just
He carried
dragged it through, like, the freaking tundra.
Oh.
You're right. Not to say that any of the characters were bad. It's just Ironwood.
Yeah.
Go back and watch
This was
Volume 2.
Ironwood's volume. We
Go
saw the
back and watch
descent into
Volume 2,
madness.
Ironwood, and he's my favorite character. He's my favorite character in RWBY. Sorry, Weiss. You know, I think I have a thing for
Sorry,
Elysians
Weiss.
because it's like.
Yeah, I think our
Ironwood,
caption would
it's
have a word
Weiss,
with you.
Winter's also in there somewhere.
The
Penny's also
caption
in there
that you
somewhere,
wrote
so
has
I
a
might
word
have a
with you.
bias towards Elysians. But no, like
God.
Ironwood definitely deserves it more than
I
anything.
definitely
He
think
does.
that no RWBY character has ever had quite an arc as Ironwood has. Like Weiss, kind of. Like
Yeah.
Weiss has had a big
Oh, I
change.
love it.
Weiss
Had a
had
big change. in
Weiss's
each
arc
volume.
kind of ended in
It was
Volume
like a
4. At least
slow burn
she hasn't
almost.
changed as much as she did when she
But with
changed in Volume
Ironwood, it
4.
happened so, you know?
Yeah. So I for one think that this volume was great. I think Eddie and Kiersey were a breath of
Yeah,
fresh
oh
air
God,
this
they
volume and
absolutely-
deserved, like some proper
Like,
attention
imagine,
because
like,
Miles
I'm
even
imagining-
mentioned it, that this volume was
Pause. I'm imagining that if they didn't have Eddie and Kiersey, you know, they talk about Volume 5 like they struggle to balance so many plot lines. If they had Eddie and Kiersey on it back then, how great Volume 5 could have been. Like, this is honestly, to me, like, this is probably how great Volume 5 could have been, how even better Volume 6 could have been. Volume 6 was already fantastic. Like, having Eddie and Kiersey, like, this volume could not have possibly been as good as it was if it didn't have them on it. Like, so many of the great moments that we had, I mean, for one, the Thirsty Moms, I thought about that. Like, that wouldn't have happened. Like, so much of this volume was them. And it absolutely was so much better for it. Play.
hard to write, and they don't know how well they would have done if it wasn't for them two. And they contributed to a lot of great things. Thirsty Moms, who could forget?
I just
definitely
said it.
new
Thirsty
categories
Moms.
that if we continue
Eddie
to
made that
volume
happen.
8, it was just such a great volume overall, and we wanted it to kind of be in the public.
This was a fantastic way to
discussion,
celebrate it. Absolutely.
Especially with the volume being done, and you know, it's another thing
So
that
many
people
great
in the
ideas
community can
came
look forward
together.
to during the dry season, because we're not going to get any news and information until at least the summer for RTX and stuff like that. And I know that there are a lot of people that are
I am going.
just as eager as I am to figure
Well,
out
to meet
who
some of
won
you
certain
there. I'll
categories.
be at
We had
RTX 2020 if the
7,500
coronavirus ain't gonna shut it down.
attendees, you know what I mean? So if you don't
You're
like
not
it,
happy, it's your fault. again, just thank you to everyone who voted. Thanks to everyone who has been patient with my computer issues. Like, this was supposed to be out Valentine's Day, and clearly it was not, right? So there was that. Thank you to people who wanted to react to it. Like, that's crazy.
You're welcome. This was, again, it's the best idea anyone's had in a long time in the fandom. Holy shit.
Results, and I'm just here like, that's crazy.
Yeah, we won't sue you, unlike maybe the, unlike a different award ceremony.
No, Arnold, I expect you to pay me.
If you do think that anyone was snubbed, if you think it was well deserved,
also we miss you.
Forrest got snubbed.
All of that sort of stuff.
Forrest absolutely got snubbed.
Give to my Patreon, not Arnold's.
Jesus Christ.
What else am I trying to say? Subscribe, all that sort of stuff.
I don't even have a Patreon. I would promote it if I had one.
You know what to do.
Should I make one? Answer that
Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope
Would
you guys
pay
enjoyed.
me?
And until next time, we'll see you in the next one. Take care.
Take care, Arnold. Absolutely. This is a great idea. I'll say it 1,000 times over again. That about does it for this video. I guess my my picks weren't too hot. I didn't really succeed in the Oscar pool. Here's the overall result. I'm gonna edit and put it in post as to like how well I did. I'm pretty sure it was under half though. I don't have much else to say other than this was honestly among the best ideas, even if it kind of just rolled into one thing led to another, and like this was the result. But like it was still like it was worth the effort. And I'm just imagining again, like, what if, you know, we had the same thing, but where like Calaxin or Murder Birds was the host, probably Calaxin, because like ultimately this was her idea. That's why it's on her channel. And then like, well, she was hosting, but then she threw it to that Kaito Dan for this category to introduce it, then to Freelancer Amber, then to Zhao Long, then to Psylocke, then to Unicorn of War, then to all of these other people. So it can be a celebration of the fandom just as much as it is a celebration of the show, because I mean it is already a celebration of the fandom because it's, you know, the fandom voted. Everyone voted. Like Forrest got snubbed, but Eric Baudour, he voted. I think. I mean, he made a comment. He got like, hey, can I write in Forrest? Can I write in a submission? But yeah, like, I'm just imagining it. I mean, there's definitely so many ways. I mean, this was cool as is. It's great. There's so many ways to make it even better, you know? That's all I really have for this video. I'm Raijin Rising. Have a good one.